Aloha. So this is going to be the first orchid update I've done in quite a while, and the first from the Kona house. This is the deck lanai area that is at this point pretty much jam-packed full of potted plants, and then out in front is sort of landscape that is in the works. What I have set up here is two orchid benches that I made to really go vertical with a lot of the hanging orchids. And as you can see, they're under pretty heavy shade, but they do get western light. So the ocean is directly to the west. They get full sunlight the later part of the day. So I'd just like to do a quick update on what's flowering and a couple of other kind of interesting plants going on. So this is Dendrobium tanii, a unbelievably impressive little plant that flowers like mad for a really long period of time. It flowers for months at a time. It flowers on the old canes, flowerless canes, and it's just impressive. When it's not flowering, it just kind of looks like it's dying, and then it'll send out a few new leads, and then they'll flower. The interesting thing that I'm noticing, and I'm going to show this on this dendrobium, it's a mounted one, and what I'm seeing is that a lot of these roots are growing, they're pushing into the shadier part of the lanai, the shadier, probably higher humidity level. And then the vegetative growth is growing towards the sun. So it's pretty interesting. I'm trying to rotate them a little bit, but pretty heavy or pretty healthy root growth all in all. And the plants are really healthy considering they're in somewhat less than optimal conditions. Here's Dendrobium Jenkenzi that's growing the exact same way. You can see the roots are just growing up and out. So this general bench is all it's anything it's non-Cattleya species. So it's dendrobiums and anything else. So here is a Bulbophyllum. This flower is just about as perfect as flowers get, I think. Just a really, really perfect, nice size single flower, and the plant itself is doing great. Again, growing towards the light. Here's another little Bulbophyllum. It's starting to flower. It's the first time it's flowered. It isn't quite open yet. I would recommend looking this one up online, but it's impressive when it's fully going. Dendrobium falciparum. Didn't get the best pictures of this. I'll show one later, maybe next week when it's fully open. Oncidium ampliatum. I think this plant has just amazing vegetative growth. So the flowers are whatever. Oncidiums are cool and nice. They don't blow me away. The flowers don't. But the vegetative growth is really, really cool on this one, flat and succulent like. Here's a view of the growth, the way I'm mounting stuff. I didn't get a great picture of this guy's flowering, but he's got these little miniature flowers, which I've shown before, kind of always flowering. A tiny little miniature that just I just put him on the rack and water him, and it takes care of itself. Pretty impressive plant. This is, I think, the easiest orchid that I have in the entire collection to grow. It's flowers nonstop all year long. This is another very easy one. If you live in warmer climates, I would suggest this. It's just like a succulent that's got orchid flowers on it all year long. I do get these in focus in a second in the picture, but Angraecums are just unbelievably cool little plants in a lot of ways. And I can't wait. This thing is, I've had that for years, and it's been growing well, and I can't wait to see it in 10 years. Pleurothallus, underrated orchids. They have very understated flowers, but really cool growth habits. So this is kind of the end of the non Cattleya bench. Quite a few things are flowering, all in all pretty healthy. The Cattleya benches on the other side, it gets a little bit too much wind, I think, so there's a little bit of drying out going on. Nothing is flowering, but a few things are starting to spike out. So I think over the next couple weeks, I will do an update when some of these open up. A couple of Cattleyas I didn't show here are spiking and will open next week and probably be pretty nice. But that's it. I just wanted to do a quick update, show that the orchids are alive and well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.